corner.
Good morning, Caleb. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good.
What's your biggest takeaway from the review of the film this morning?
Assuming did you get a chance to watch that?
Of course, yeah. Obviously, a well-fought game for sure. Obviously, I'm gonna be more critical on the defensive end and pick at us just as a bit much as we can. But I think it's an opportunity that we have some opportunities to take the ball away, and I think we got to seize those opportunities a bit more to make games not being so close and challenging. And I just think overall, like I said, I'm gonna keep speaking for the defensive end, man. We flew around, we made quite some plays. Those guys are professionals too. They made some plays in their end, and we just got to make more plays in them for sure.
Caleb, I was going to say, Caleb, on big game this week, both two good teams. How much do y'all enjoy the opportunity to play in games like that?
Pretty dope. Pretty dope. Obviously, we get a chance to fight adversity and see much about ourselves. Like I said, a very talented team, regardless of what media aspects may say about them or whatever it is. But super talented on the field, man, and well coached. So we got an opportunity to fight adversity and see where we lies in the great battle of being tested, and we came out on top.
Ron, do you look at like the overall sack numbers, or you guys focus on other things too? Say, hey, maybe we didn't get him on the ground enough this week, but we pressured him, we moved him off the spot, the intentional grounding, those sorts of things. Do you look at that and say, this number, yeah, we'd like more, but we're doing a good enough job?
Yeah, it's always like a hard balance to try to find between the two because you want the numbers and you want the sacks for sure. But we find ways to affect the quarterback in whichever way we can. Like you said, the intentional groundings, man. We had a safety last week, you know what I'm saying, just getting the ball out and we're just causing a lot of quick throws and havoc up front to, wherever it is, get an extra clutch or cause some type of disruption within routes and QB timing. So everything matters, obviously, when it comes to get to the quarterback. But I can tell you that this front is still hungry. We know that we're capable of much more than what we put on film.
You said you're more focused on the defensive line, but after watching the tape, it seems like the defensive backs specifically were really involved in the run game. What does it mean to you as a guy who's in the trenches seeing defensive backs being involved and playing physical against that kind of rushing attack?
No, that's super dope. That's super dope, man. Seeing Carlton come in, hit, Gonzo come in, hit, man. So it's not too many times where you can see corners being as physical as those two, and they come in and they make plays regardless and without any type of hesitation. So pretty dope to keep having everybody, all 11 involved in the run game and take pride in that. And we know those can get us opportunities in the pass game for sure. So I credit to those guys for continue to show up, man, and I hope that we continue to do that all year long.
Chaisson, did you hear after the game the Falcons were talking about on that intentional grounding play? I guess they heard some clapping from your side of the line of scrimmage. Did you hear anything like that? Were you guys clapping before the snap there?
Yeah, this is my first time hearing about it, so I wasn't aware of that. But I would hope that we don't do that. We play the game fair and we go out and do whatever we can to win.
Caleb, one after facing a couple of young quarterbacks the last 2 weeks, now you go up against a veteran this week, and I know you probably haven't dived into Tampa Bay yet, but when you look ahead to Baker Mayfield, the kind of quarterback he's been playing against a guy like that, how do you prepare during the week for him, the offense they run?
Man, Baker is a great quarterback. I think we all been kind of watching him excel and getting better and better each year, and each year, especially as he's getting comfortable with the system. So it's going to be a thing about obviously getting them off their time and then off their rhythm, man. They're very good at their script and kind of just making sure, just methodically getting downfield, and he takes whatever he can get. And then when those explosives show up, and they got some fast guys at receiver and making plays. So it's going to be one of those, man, everybody kind of have to just be dialed in and focus into their details, man. Those guys are going to make plays, but we're going to have to make sure that we make more plays than they make.
You guys are on a pretty historic run right now with not allowing any running backs to get over 50 yards. Is that something you're aware of heading into the week and wanting to continue that streak, or is it something that you don't really think about?
I think it's more of an outside noise than internal. We don't really mention it much in the building. We take pride in being a great run defense for sure, though, but we don't really mention much about stats and kind of like what's the running back average against us. But it's a dope stat to have for sure, man. I was speaking about yesterday post game, man. I think it's a mentality that we carry within the defense, man. Just continue to be stout in the run game, be gap sound, and put ourselves in positions to where we can pin our ears back and get out to the quarterback.
Did you happen to see Will Campbell's tackle?
Say it again.
See Will Campbell's tackle?
No, I didn't. I hadn't get a chance to.
Just wanted to ask you just about your season, just sort of as a whole. I start with the 5.5 sacks, which is career high. Is there something about what's happening with you individually, this team, this scheme, that is maybe bringing out the best in you? Like, what are you feeling? What do you see?
I mean, it definitely helps playing with the guys I play with for sure. Got some exceptional defensive backs, exceptional guys on the inside. Milton, Christian, Harold on the opposite end, getting to the quarterback. So when everybody is kind of making sure they're winning their one-on-ones and dominating in their role in the game, man, I think it makes everybody's job a bit more easy, especially when you can just focus on winning your one-on-one battles. So credit to everybody that's on the field within, man. I think that's all this goes into. Started off in OTAs. And we continue to build that chemistry and that ground and kind of just see how we want to get to the quarterback and how we, willing to rush as a unit rather than individual pass rush. So it's been dope. It's been dope to have a season like this for sure, but I give all credit to everybody that's on the field with me for sure.
Specifically, how has he distinguished himself as a player, his physical skills, but the effort and even his leadership, in the locker room?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, Milt's dope. Obviously, he knows what a championship contender team looks like, and he definitely voices his opinion when he speaks to that. He might not be as loud, rowdy guy, but he knows when things not looking right and when things kind of looking or going in the right direction. So Milt keeps us all on the right path, man. Whether it's with Christian, Harold, or me, especially when we out there rushing together. Some things that he sees, especially if it's a slide protection or if he has a one-on-one matchup, or if he's just seeing some different sets between the pair of a guard and tackle. He steady talking about it on the sideline and trying to make sure we're on the same page. So pretty dope to have Milt with us. I think. I was that 2 years ago. He was a part of a crew that had 72 sacks in the season or something like that. So I mean, he knows how to get to the quarterback. He knows what it takes. So I'm super dope to have him inside with us for sure.
I'm curious, your view of the trade deadline, being on a team that's been as successful as it's been to this point in the season. Do you look at the trade deadline and say, man, it'd be great to bring somebody in here to help us get even better? Or how do you look at it when you're part of a winning team the way you guys have been?
Yeah, that's a question I don't really have an answer for. I don't really kind of dig too much in that. Man, I control what I can control, and that's my play on the field. Hopefully I do everything I can to make sure that we continue to go in this direction for sure, though.
Okay.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for today.
Hey guys. Good afternoon. How we doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. What you got for me?
I was Estella last week.
Estella. It was good. Good ambiance. Convenient. It's right there. I think it just opened up recently, and I think some of the guys had been to the one downtown, and it was Big Mike's week, so probably 30 orders of wings. It was absurd. They did a great job getting food out quickly, which I think is number one priority for us. But it was a good time.
Football-wise, offensively, as you sort of review, I don't know if you've had a chance to review.
Yeah, we just watched as a group. Yeah, I think in the first half we were finishing with touchdowns. It was really good. Second half, some of the drives lulled. Thought run game, we had some good dirty runs in there, and when you're watching the tape, obviously when you have the clicker and you pause it and you're like, listen, if you can finish just a little bit better here, 4 yards is going to be an 8-yard run, or there's always things to clean up. Protection, we knew going in and we were going to bring 5 or more quite a bit at a time, and I thought there were some good pockets at times, and we got to do our part to help Drake out a little bit more in some of the other times. But yeah, I think you're not going to apologize for a win. We didn't play our best game, and winning this league is hard, and so I thought defense did an unbelievable job, and so you don't want to rely that they're going to get every stop every time their offense is out there. We could do some things in the second half to put it away or not make it as close as it was. But like I said, winning this league is hard, and so we're coming in, and we could feel a lot worse about ourselves if we didn't somehow get the job done. But that's the goal at the end of the day.
When you play a defensive line that slants and blitzes and does all these things like the Falcons, how does your preparation change, or maybe the way that you have to see their front and do your job?
Yeah, it starts with the look in practice. I thought our scout team did a good job giving us the look, getting ready for it. It was going to be a lot of 5 on the line and twists and stunts and pressures out of that. We knew that 3rd and 6 plus was going to be a danger zone. We're like, listen, we might get more than 5 here. So I think Coach McDaniels had a good plan protection-wise. We tried to limit how much we were in that, but there were some times where they did bring 5 or 6, and we picked it up. And if we give Drake just enough time, we've got the weapons, we've got the quarterback that we can complete and convert on some third downs that are pretty low percentages. And so, yeah, it was a good challenge, and we saw just about everything there is. And sometimes we did a great job, and sometimes there's things to clean up, but that's football.
Garrett, I know it's early in the week and you're just reviewing yesterday, but looking ahead, Todd Bowles in Tampa Bay, are we going to see everything to see in that team?
Week in, week out. It's every week. So it'll be a good challenge for us. Haven't totally dove into them yet. Coaches are talking about them right now, but today is kind of reflecting on yesterday and getting your bodies back, getting a lift in, and figuring out what we did well and what we can improve. And tomorrow, some guys today take a look at some of the games, and tomorrow, but Wednesday will kind of be the big install day. So it'll be a good challenge for us.
How would you describe, if Josh is different, his approach to setting protections and building his offense around that?
Yeah, I think he does a great job. There's different ways you can help in protections, whether it's quick game, whether it's getting chips on the tackles, whether bring a tight end in. But I think Josh does a good job mixing it up. And you got to marry the run game with it. Then your play action's open and stuff like that. So I personally have felt this year that he's done a great job helping us, and we've done a good job at times of holding up for Drake. But, Coach McDaniels knows this league, knows how to call plays, and knows how to get his guys in the best position to succeed.
Garrett. Sorry, I was going to. He's talking, so I'm going to go. When I think people look at the raw number of sacks that you guys have allowed the last couple of weeks and point to that as some sort of indication as to how you guys have played. But do you look at it that way, or do you say, hey, not all sacks are created equal, we're actually better than this might suggest, or maybe there are games where it's worse than the nut sack numbers would suggest? How do you value that number?
Yeah, that's a great question. We just talked about it in the room. We're like, it wasn't our best game, and I think it makes every lineman sick. 6 sacks yesterday. That's not good enough. And so, it's a stat, and it's not all on the O-line. It's not on the quarterback. It's everyone involved, but that's too many. And so we get in the film and we figure out where can we have been better, and it is not always on us, but at the end of the day, that number is the number that we had. And so we need to be better. We need to be better for Drake. And I think some of it is putting ourselves in better positions to where we had some negative plays on some first downs. And then when you're in second and long, it's like, all right, everyone in the world knows we're going to drop back here. And then if you don't get that, everyone knows we're going to drop back on third and long. And so it's all tied together, but we need to get that number lower. We can, and we have, and I believe we will.
Again? No, we're bad at this. There's been a lot of continuity on the offensive line this year, and obviously that, I would imagine, would help a group. Have you seen that help you guys the most, the chemistry that you ever built?
Yeah, it's such a weekly grind where you play a game and there's some stuff you want to clean up, and you can have some good dialogue throughout the game, after the game, of like, hey, I'd like for you to set this way, and I'll set this way next time on this look. And obviously we have 2 young guys on the left side and a lot of experience on the right side. And so it's working through that working relationship with them. Like, all right, I know Mike's done this at a high level for a long time. I'm playing next to him. So when we see things, we can kind of talk things through a little quicker. And with Jared and Will, it's trial by fire. Like, we've all been through it playing early in the NFL, and it's a tough ask, but they're doing a really good job with it. They're receptive. It's not their way or the highway, which is a credit to how they were raised and coached. But I feel like we have a good working group in our O-line. We have 3 O-line coaches. They all kind of do different things, but they all help us out. And so, the continuity it's huge. It's because yesterday we saw a bunch of stuff. Next week we're going to see a bunch of stuff. And so as the season goes on, you've seen a bunch of looks, a bunch of pressures, a bunch of moves. And so the idea is you're just trying to build and get better each week as a unit. There's no individual on the O-line. Like, we really, truly work as 5. So whether I gave up one of the sacks or whether anyone did. Like 6 sacks, we all take that personally, and how can we all be better as a unit?
Will had the rare hustle play there.
Yeah.
In your career, like, can you think about many of those that you've seen like that?
Yeah, it's just kind of like we kind of track tackles in the O-line room. Obviously, we don't want to have a bunch, but I was like, giving him his props. We were just watching the film. I was like, "Is that your first tackle?" He's like, "No, it was my second." And I'm like, "All right, let's not get cocky." But that was an unbelievable effort play. That's we don't want to put our defense in that position, and I think most times our defense will hold them to a field goal. But just to give the defense the chance to hold them was huge, and that's worst case scenario. We never want that to happen. We can be a lot better there. That's something we watching the film. Like, this one's on us. Like, there's 6 of them. This is us. But I think the effort and finish and the identity that Vrabel preaches, that shows out on those plays. And so, great job by him. He was even trying to get the ball out, and I think he said after, he's like, "That guy was fast." Just got to make the tackle at some point. But it was a good effort play by Will.
It's easy for us
Final question.
It's easy for us to sit at home and kind of critique when this twist isn't picked up.
Yeah.
But are there any insights you can give us that maybe would make it more understandable why that happens? Like with a veteran player, where you can say, "Oh, why didn't you just see that?" Like, what is more difficult about it than maybe people might understand?
Yeah, it goes back to the unit thing where, like, especially on twist, it's never one guy. It's if you're in a combination on a twist, it could be a 3-man twist, a 2-man twist. Everyone's involved. And I think on that play specifically, it's like, all right, they brought the twist from over here. Could I have banged back to the right and saved a life on the right? Could the tackle have set better? Could the guard have set better? It's never one person. And so that's kind of where that dialogue and that working relationship comes to life, where it's like, all right, we just got beat on a TE. This is how I felt like I said it. This is how I felt like you said it. Let's change it. Let's be better moving forward. Because the defenses in this league, once you get beat on something, that's all you're going to see. And so what you have to do is learn from it. And I think we will. And that's part of the season. There's some good and there's some stuff you need to improve, and that falls in that improved category. And defenses are going to keep doing it. And so we got to put on tape that we're going to stop it and be better from it.
Your last question. In that regard, when they're working games like that, do you know, like, hey, it's Myles Garrett or something like? Is there more attention paid to, like, if you're in the middle and you're saying I could help a little bit here? Do you think to yourself, Garrett's coming from the left side, if they're going to do this thing, I kind of maybe that's where I should lead?
Yeah, I think based on the protection, for sure. But I think obviously Myles Garrett, I think everyone's got a little more awareness when you're playing a guy like that. But this week it was a lot of 5 in the line, and so it was a lot of just, all right, we're probably all going to be singled up, and we got to hold up, and they were running twists out of that, and so it just goes back to we all got to be on the same page and play as a unit. But yeah, different rushers, you have more heightened awareness, and yeah, it's just. But at the end of the day, it's not about what they're doing; it's what we're doing. How can my feet have been better? My hands have been better? Because if you put it on them, then if it's their fault, you can't do anything to fix it. So we always want to put it on us.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, guys.